Hey everybody, it's Drew from Flames of the Phoenix Tarot card. I'm providing you with a general reading. It is the start to the new year for the astrological signs. So I am doing already, or I have already done, the Aries birthday for this round. What I've decided to do, I think you may have seen, I'm calling this an energy round. So I have these really cool die that I was able to purchase, and it has all the different astrological signs. So what I'm going to do is each round I'm going to do 4 rounds, and I'm going to do different rounds with the different decks there just to see what kind of energy. I'm going to choose 2 decks per round so that you can kind of get a little bit of mix and a mingle. So we'll see what happens and how it's going to work. I am on a bit of an angle, and I don't know what's going on with technology. I know Mercury's in retrograde, which usually has technology issues, communication issues, so all the issues are showing up. So let's see what we can do to have a little bit of fun with this. So I am going to use the Star Tarot, Rainbow Tarot, Stained Glass Tarot, and then the AE White Tarot, the holographic ones. Yeah, just setting up for today. It's been quite a process, I'll be honest with you. So it's been very mildly entertaining. But what I'm going to do is 4 rounds utilizing the 4 different tarot cards. What I'm going to do is shuffle them first and then do the spread to see what happens. 1, 2, woo, oh wow, already coming up. And 3, we'll do flick. How are you doing? I guess this is a good question to ask. They're like, oof, wait and see here. 1, 2, 3, and then flick. All right, knock on the cards here. Let's see what we've got going on here for, I don't actually know. I'm just going to let spirits figure it out, and I'm going to roll the dice at the end and see who this reading, I'm going to do both of the cards. Both the cards, and then roll the dice, and then see what this means for you. I'm sure some of you might bounce ahead just to see who it is, but I like a little bit of mystery. Why not, right? Oh, jeez. 2. That card just got folded. 3. Oh, I'm getting really good vibes though. You know, new year, new you. For those of you who follow astrology, it is the new year with Aries starting the year off, paving the ground, as it were, for the new year. That card just flew right out of there. Let me go grab that in a second. 3, 4, and see. Let's see what spirits have in store for these cards. What? Never a dull moment, right? Like, cards flipping and flopping and causing commotion. Let me grab that card that hit the ground. Oh, interesting. 7 of cups for the ones that are selected on this one here. Okay, so that is, we're doing the stained glass and the AEY cards for now. Let's see what's going on here. What is on store here? Let me just get this centralized. All right, so who is this meant for readings? Gemini and Leos. So I'm just going to leave that somewhere where you can see. So Gemini and Leo, let's have a little chit chat. So we're using, for Geminis and Leos, we're using the AEY, the holographic cards as I usually call them, and then the stained glass. First and foremost, there's a bit of a decision-making process you have to do. I'm getting like a major purchase that's coming underway for you, for those of you that are Gemini and Leo. This is also Sun, Moon, and Rising. If you don't know how to do that, there is always calculators that are available on websites that can just help you figure out where your Sun, Moon, and Rising is. So there is going to be some big decisions that are on the horizon for you. I'm getting financial as just a headway for you. The King of Pentacles is talking about change in money or stability because it is reversed right now. But there's also the Star. So something that you've been wishing for is finally going to come true. And in that finally going to come true, it's going to cause a little bit of a financial hurdle for yourself. So heads up, but I think you already know that it's coming anyways, right? Next card here, 10 of Pentacles. So yes, so once you do that financial burden drop, things are going to be more financially stable for yourself. So there's going to be something that's going to come up in the near future. Major purchase, like I'm talking like vacation, car, house, a boat. Like I'm getting like pleasure craft as well as an option for those of you who are Gemini Leos. What's going on here? Knight of Swords. So you need to learn a little bit about the major purchase that you're going to do. So I would say, instead of just jumping right into things, take a second, figure out what it is that's actually going on. I think that's good advice for any astrological sign, but don't just run right into it. The Four of Cups, you might regret your decision right away, but it's meant to happen. So you're going to probably see the purchase, you're going to see the sticker price, and you're going to be like, God, that's a lot of money. But you know what? It's meant to happen. The Ten of Cups reverse tells us that you're going to, like I said, you're going to do a little bit of regret for the purchase, because if it was upright, the Ten of Cups upright would tell me that you're happy, you're satisfied, you are excited for the purchase. Right now, you're not so happy, or you're kind of like, ooh, a little bit of buyer's remorse. But with the Page of Cups here, look at that, like just with this this change here, the Page of Cups, the emotions are going to run high, but the emotion is showing that it's probably meant to have happened in the first place. The Ace of Wands is a journey that you need to do. So if this major purchase is happening and you haven't done your research, don't regret that. And I don't want you to have that suffering of regrets, because, oh wow, the King of Pentacles here as well. With the King of Pentacles, both of them are reversed. This is why I love doing multiple cards, because the King of Pentacles being reversed on both sides is that the decision you're making, you're not happy about it, you're prepared for it, you know you need to do it, but you're still like, oof, do I have to? Ten of Swords reversed. You are going to regret your decision, and that's okay, Geminis and Leos, but at the same time too, you need to do the process. The process is there for you. Temperance means balance, so the balance is going to happen whether you like it or not. Very big Libra signs, always with temperance and justice cards. With the Eight of Cups being upright, the journey is just about done. So this is going to happen sooner rather than later for those of you that are Gemini, Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. If you know Gemini is your Sun and your Moon is Leo, this is really going to be impactful for you. Seven of Swords, so there's a bit of a lesson that needs to be learned. Again, I'm getting a vibe that don't rush into things. That might come naturally to some of you, but that is not what you're supposed to be doing here. Nine of Pentacles upright says that the stability is going to come, but there is a bit of nurturing that has to come with it, meaning that you can't just jump right into it. You need to take your time, you need to take your balance, you need to take your energy. The Hermit reversed, don't overthink it though. So you got to do the process, but don't do the analysis paralysis part. Make sure that you are taking the proper time to make your right decision. I don't want you to jump into it hazardly, but in the same breath too, for those of you that are Geminis and Leos, I really want you to understand that this process is meant to happen. So whatever this decision that you've been looking to do and you've been kind of over analyzing it, you got to start moving forward. It's not going to answer itself. You need to take that time and energy to figure that out. I'm going to do another round. Quite possible that Gemini and Leo could be showing up again. Maybe it'll further enhance the reading. But again, for those of you that are just watching this part here, please subscribe, share, like. I'm doing really well with getting subscribers, but I would like to actually get some, groups in my world here, get some conversations going, have a little chit chat, if it were. So next round here I'm going to use is the rainbow cards as well as the Star Tarot. So let me just quickly warm them up and see what's going to happen, and then I will, 2, 3, I will add on the rolling of the dice to see who this is meant for. 1, 2, 3. So these are the rainbow deck. I love these cards. They're just so bright and vibrant, aka what a rainbow is. Duh! Alright, spirits, what's going on with these cards today so I can share with my friends here that are watching? Woo! Okay. Whoa, okay. Alright, I'll take it. Okay, and then what's going on with these cards? I'll do 1, 2, 3. Boop, 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 doop, 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 doop. And then 1, 2, 3. Knock, knock. Let's see what Spirits has got for us for these cards right now. Okay, so let's set it up. Ask the Spirits who this is meant for. That needs to go there. That kind of goes up there. This goes here. I like it like that. Okay, let's see. Who are these lucky people? So we have Libra, double Libra. Interesting. Libras, what's going on that you need some attention today? You're like, I need some balance. I haven't had balance from you for a while. Let's do this. All right, so double Libra. Hey, Libras. Again, Sun, Moon, and Rising, so it doesn't necessarily have to be just double, just for Libras, but maybe your Moon or your Rising signs. Again, for those of you that don't know how to do that, if you go on a calculator for astrology, you need to enter in your day, month, and year, which is usually your Sun, but then your Moon and your Rising is the location and the time of birth as well. So let's go and start over here. Wheel of Fortune. Ooh, there's been some change going on. You're like, duh, that's why I need to have a double Libra. It's like, okay, the balance is off. Okay, let's talk about this. So there has been a big shift. And that shift is something that you were expecting, but it happened at an angle that you weren't prepared for. It's almost as if like you knew it was happening, but you were surprised with the outcome and how kind of off it was. Like I'm kind of getting like you're off. Like the scales are a little off. Like things are a little off right now. With the King of Cups, you're emotionally balanced. So there's definitely some happiness there. But the Knight of Cups is saying that the emotions are getting overworked. So I feel like as somebody that tries to typically be balanced with their emotions, having it being a little bit unbalanced is probably causing you a little bit more frustration or anger than you actually were anticipating in the first place. With the Ace of Swords, it's now a lesson that you need to have taught, or you kind of have to have that revisitation to kind of give yourself some idea as to how to see things differently and how to rework the, sorry, let me put it up here so you can see the, coming right off me there, the Ace of Swords there. So I feel like there is some sort of change that's happened and that now you're kind of trying to reinvestigate how you're doing things and kind of making things make more sense. I also just got a huge itch. So I feel like there's some money coming in for yourself as well. Those of you that are double Libra. With the Eight of Swords, it talks about right here that there's going to be some messaging coming through about how stability is going to be working through your world. So with the Eight of Swords, especially just being right after the Ace of Swords, I feel like there's a lesson that wasn't quite learned, and that's probably why the emotions are kind of being a little bit counterbalanced for yourself. And with the Knight of Pentacles right above that, especially it being reversed, it's talking about how you are putting in more than you need to. So I would almost pull back a bit and kind of reassess the situation because something is not serving you right now for those of you that are Libras, Sun, Moon, and Rising. With the Two of Pentacles there as well, that talks about needing to have balance again. So the Two of Pentacles is typically a balance card and it's saying it's time to reset. So I would say take a couple steps back, reevaluate what's going on, see what you're doing, and is it actually providing worthiness to what you're wanting to do or how you're doing it? I'm just going to move those over there. With the Moon card and the Eight of Pentacles reversed, Eight of Swords, Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, so definitely there's a little bit of counterbalance that needs to happen here. It's almost like the pendulum went one way and now you need to have it swing back. I kind of swung out of focus there, so sorry about that. But the Moon card represents, kind of looking at what has happened in the past. So we need to look back to kind of see what we've done and appreciate what we've done in order to kind of reach the conclusion or the natural fulfillment of what you're trying to achieve. So with the Eight of Pentacles reversed, it's almost like there's a little bit of a lesson that still needs to be learned on somebody. It's not necessarily you, but there's somebody that needs to kind of have like a revisit or a reevaluation of how they're doing things with you. With the Ten of Pentacles reversed, it's still talking about that balance, Libras. Like there's a little bit of counterbalance. With it being reversed, this would mean that everything is good, everything's good to go, just like, reap the fruits of your labor, but it's not happening here. But with the Knight of Pentacles, with the Queen of Swords reversed, this is saying that you do have the capacity to take this on. Look at the King of Cups, very strong in that way. But the Queen of Swords is saying, hold on a second, I think you need to check yourself a little bit. So whatever has happened here, I don't think it's necessarily you that caused it, but you're also the one that needs to finish it. So sometimes I know that we have to allow people to falter in order for them to learn. But in this case, this is not about learning. This is about kind of getting things rebalanced for yourselves and actually making sure that it works out. If you're asking for timelines, because in my head I heard it's 3 months. So 3 months, we are in March. So I would say by June, things should probably reset. If it's belaboring that anymore, I think it's a matter of evaluating what are your wants and what are your needs for that. That does it here for my double Libras here. So I'm going to close this reading here and I'm going to do a reset of the cards. And then we're going to do a new round with the new figuring out who's the next astrological signs. So as always, I do love feedback. I actually am doing way more private readings than beforehand, which is awesome because that's, financially a little bit better. I'm not going to lie to you. So for those of you that are looking for private readings, I'm more than happy to offer private readings. What I've been doing, for those of you that don't know, is that I do pre-recorded readings. They're usually around 30 to 40 minutes. And in those readings, you get to choose the decks that I use. And then in the decks too, I can then, technically, I shouldn't say technically, I can answer questions. I don't answer medical questions. That's not my wheelhouse. But I am, asking spirits what they want to give us for information and see what's going to happen with that. So again, it's just a matter of working with what we got and seeing what we can do to make things work. So that's that. And let me do one more. All right, so what's going on here for round 3? What is going on for round 3? Ooh, that was quite a few cards that populated. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the rainbow cards for the next batch here. So reawaken these cards, do a little quick reset to see what's going to happen. The cards they're slidey, they're a little spicy. Okay, and one more round. Three. Okay, let's see what we've got going on here. Spirits, what have we got going on for this round here for my friends watching today? Whoop. All right. So, and I know some of you, the death card is there. Do not be afraid. It's not meant to scare. It's meant to give us information. I'm meant to reverse that. Okay, let me just make sure everything is in view for you. Okay, 9 of Cups seems to be a good storyteller for today for you guys. Okay, let's change, reset and see, spirits, what cards are these meant for our signs today? Libra and Pisces. Libra, what is going on with you? Not in a bad way, so just... But I'm a Pisces, so let's see what we've got going on here for today. So those of you who are joining Sun, Moon, and Rising, we have right now Libras and Pisces up. 9 of Cups means that there's some emotional fulfillment that's coming in. Why I like this representation of this 9 of Cups is that, look at that, you're filling your cup. Your energy is getting fulfilled. There's some like revitalization. There's some energy. So it's like you're standing a little bit taller. You're sitting a little bit higher there. With the 5 of Wands, it talks about your lessons being learned, the journeys that you've been on. And in those journeys, what I love about this Pisces and Libras, Sun, Moon, and Rising, the energy that's coming with that. Look at the ground, look at the formation. It's like you have now built a foundation for yourself in the journey of like understanding who you are and what it is that you are meant to be. It's kind of being fulfilled. Because when I see the 9 of Cups the way that it's listed there as a starting point to our journey today, it's talking about the lessons that you've learned and doing the groundwork. I was actually talking to my cousin just this morning, and we talked a little bit about it a couple days ago, about are you doing the work? Like, are you trying to grow? Are you trying to develop yourself? And what are you doing to do that? So let's just see here what's going on. So the Two of Cups, relationships. So I think you've actually established what are healthy relationships for once. And I know Pisces. I'll be honest. I am a Pisces. I find that that can actually be very hard sometimes because you don't want to hurt people, but at the same time, you need to create a boundary. And this is telling me here that maybe you've created boundaries, but they're a little too firm or too rigid, and they need to be a little bit flexible. Pisces were mutable by nature, so maybe there needs to be a little bit more flexibility. For those of you that are Libras, hopefully we don't take offense, never trying to hurt feelings here. But what if you are creating too much balance that it's almost becoming rigid as a result? And you're like, I've done that. Seven of Pentacles, yeah, so this is the stability going on here. You've created a little bit of instability as a result. With the Seven of Pentacles, especially following the path that we're doing here, I would be concerned that are you making too abrasive or rash decisions without realizing what are some of the consequences? And sometimes, not doing the consequences is not always a bad thing either, but I feel like it's something that just needs to be revisited. Three of Cups, talk to your friends, talk to your loved ones. They are there to help you, support you, guide you, making sure that you're not going too crass. That is amazing that the Queen of Cups came up afterwards. So she is aware of her emotions. And I know that with Mercury in retrograde, emotions run high. I know that, Aries starting up we had that blood moon. These are all things that can actually create counterbalances and us trying to rebalance, but then causing problems as a result. What's going on over here? The Seven of Cups reversed. So the decisions that you're making may not be the right decisions right now. So I would actually suggest that if you were willing to do something, just double check and say, you know what, I'm going to sleep on it. I'm going to allow myself the opportunity to reflect rather than bounce at something, or just say, you know what, I'm not ready to do it. The Hangman reversed. You know what you need to do. Libras and Pisces, you already know what you need to do. So if I'm like, you know what, you should be holding back, you're like, you know what, that doesn't hurt to wait. But don't, excuse me, analysis paralysis. Validation right there. Don't overthink it. So allow yourself to utilize your emotions, understand what it is that you're doing, and move forward with that. And that's again for Libras, Pisces. The Knight of Swords. You know what, Libras, Pisces, I know it's you, but there's a person that's causing this problem. Let me just see who it is. Scorpio or Aries. So I feel like there's somebody, so Scorpios are October, November, end of October, beginning of November, and Aries is right now until April. So for those of you that are Libra and Pisces, so I would say somebody who is a Scorpio and what was it? Oh my goodness, an Aries. So Scorpio and Aries, maybe there is somebody that is Scorpio Aries that is causing these problems, or you know what? It's not necessarily causing the problems, but they know the solution. So I would just be a little bit connected there. So you know what? I don't think they're the problem. I don't think this. If you think that it is, all the more power to you. But I feel like an Aries or a Scorpio person would be somebody, for those of you that are Libra. Let me just reset the clock. Pisces is right there, and Libra is right there. So I do think that if you do reach out to those two signs, I really think that would help. For some reason, I'm really leaning towards the Aries. Not, Scorpios are passion, but the Aries have fire as well. So maybe you just need some tough love and getting that result as well. But that's where the Knight of Swords comes into play. I think the reason why I did the role for you was that you needed to learn who would be a good advocate for yourself. With the Death card reversed, that means that we need to look at what we're doing and are we making the right decisions, and are we making the right decisions that are impacting our future growth and development. With the Ace of Cards, it's now resetting our emotions and making sure we are happy with the decisions we make, because again, we got to live with what we do. So Nine of Pentacles is saying that even though the decisions are there and the decisions might help you and guide you, they are something that you need to still be aware of, that the stability of being instability is not so bad either. So it's like the unknown, even though the unknown is a little bit scary, it also can be a little bit exciting as well. The Six of Swords means that you need to do some reflection and figure out what it is that is truly important to you. And are you happy with the decisions you're going to make? Because you got to live with them. The Seven of Wands tells me that there's a bit of an uphill climb regardless of the decision you make. You have to make a decision, and that is the reality of this. And I think I had to say that to the Libras as well. The reading beforehand was meant double Libra. The Moon card reversed. I think you need to focus on the finish line. So usually when the moon is upright, I think you need to look back and reflect. But my instinctual on this is you need to look at the finish line and how you want the outcome to look. Don't necessarily need to look at the history. So maybe you don't know the people or the situation properly, but you do know what the outcome is and who you want to be sitting at your table going forward. Last card, the sun. Ooh, the sun and the moon, opposites. Both of them are reversed. I would say here that you need to make sure you understand the consequences of your actions. I know both of you are highly balanced or highly aware of emotions or intuition, but I do want you both to understand both signs. So sun, moon, and rising for Libras and Pisces. I would argue that an Aries or a Scorpio, so when I did that roll just a few seconds ago, I think they could actually give you some insight and some intrigue that will probably help you navigate the end-all be-all outcome for yourself. I'm going to close this. So this is the third reading. So I'm going to do one more reading today, see what's going on. And again, if your sun sign doesn't show up, look into what your moon and rising is, because maybe that will actually surprise you that some of the conversations that I'm having here might actually be resonating with you more than you realize. So let's do the final reading. So that will be with the Star Tarot as well as the Holographic Tarot. So let me just re-warm up the cards here, and I will give a good, roll of the dice here to see what's going on, and then we'll call it a day. For those of you, I do wish you a fantastic day. Happy New Year for those of you that do acknowledge the start of houses, which is Aries sign. And if you're watching this a bit later, happy belated. I hope you're going to have an amazing year. I always say, what are your aspirations? I don't necessarily like to hear what goals you have, because sometimes goals, if they fall short, you're like, ooh, I lost. But what are your aspirations? What do you hope to achieve? So let's see what's going on here. If I can get spirits to help me with dishing out some dirt here. What is going on? That's funny that I asked for dirt and I got the Four of Wands. Because that's like making sure you're grounded. It is what it is. Oh, spirits, I love you. Okay, let's see what's going on with these cards here. These are the holographic cards. Do a little looky-loo and see what's going on. 2, 3, 4. I'm getting a little bit of different energy with these cards, even though I just used them. It's almost like a sombering, intuition, relax, a little bit of a energy shift. Not in a bad way, but more in a, we need to do some introspection. Okay, last one here. Okay, spirits, tell me what's going on with these cards. Let me see what I can offer for feedback. That card really wants to come out and play. And as always, I know I keep repeating myself, but please make sure you're subscribing, you're liking, you're telling your friends, and anybody who is willing to listen. That's always a nice way of saying it. If anybody is willing to listen, please, hey, how's it going? This card is actually a very strong card for some reason. Let's take a look and see what that is in a second. I want to do that as there's a couple of options, I feel like, for those of you that get this this next round here. So let's do this. Last round. Look at this. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Look at that. Aries. Oh my goodness. Aries, you're super needy. You're like, it's my birthday time. So maybe Aries, sun, moon, and rising. Let's give this an opportunity for you to shine. But again, sun, moon, and rising, I do feel like there's a bit of an energy thing going on here. So maybe for those of you that are not an Aries sign or sun, moon, and rising, cross watchers. That could be it. Same thing goes with the earlier conversation with the double Libras. Maybe there's an Aries in your life that really it needs a little bit of TLC, and this is their opportunity. Because this first card is totally about grounding yourself in the journey. So maybe there's an Aries in your life, or Aries, hey, I'm talking to you, that maybe there's been a shift in what you've been dealing with, and as a result, you are now trying to figure out what you're wanting to do. There's also the two bears, which to me always represents family and connection. So maybe there's been a little bit of a change in how you've been doing things. And as a result, you're looking at mountains and you're trying to figure out how to climb those mountains. Well, look to your family or your support systems for that support and guidance. Maybe they have some insight for you. Interesting. These two cards represent like a little bit of a decision or a little bit of a shift in mindset. So the King of Pentacles talks about how you're going to be rewarded with stability and understanding that whatever decisions you've made, it is the right decision. So don't think or doubt yourself for a second that you've made the wrong decision. With the Hierophant, though, it talks about balance. And I feel like this is about like understanding the decisions you've made have made you who you are today, and not to hold yourself, be hard on yourself if you feel like you've made the wrong decision at any time. Interesting, the King of Pentacles always sits beside the Queen of Pentacles, but she's reversed right now. So I feel like there's a bit of, even though you want things to be stable, you're hiding something behind the scenes. It's almost like going behind the curtain. So I always use that reference, and people don't know. So it's like the movie Oz or Wicked. For those of you that know Wicked, I feel like everybody knows Wicked now. But in Oz, Dorothy pulls behind the curtain to see that the Oz is not this big smoke and mirrors. It's actually a man. And I feel like in this component here is that maybe you're dealing with people, Aries, and then people that might be cross-watching or Sun, Moon, and Rising, is that you're dealing with people that might actually not be giving their true self, or maybe there's something that's missing, or there's something that's a little bit off, and you know that it's off, and you figured it out. Look at that. Three of Cups always tells me that there's people that are in your corner that are willing to help and guide you. Let me just see who those people are, my double Aries. So, Scorpio and Aquarius. So people born in October, November, and Aquarius is end of January, early February. So maybe somebody in that realm might be able to give you a little bit more guidance or support, my Aries watchers, that Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. And in this case, I would strongly encourage cross watchers as well. So if you are identifying as a Scorpio or an Aquarius, figure out who are the Aries in your life, and it's their birthday time. So you probably are well aware that maybe they need a little bit of help. Like there's a little bit of they need some friendship, they need some guidance. Temperance with the Hierophant, that would tell me that there's a little bit of unbalancedness that's happening. This also represents Libras as well, so maybe there's some arguments that are happening with Libras that could be causing problems. What's going on over here? Interesting that this round has a lot of pentacles. So this is like home, heart, health, stability, making sure everything is good to go. And with this, it's like reaping what you sow needs to happen, and that the Emperor is aware of what's going on. So they, like Aries, like your birthday is this month, like happy birthday, Aries, as well as the people that are Sun, Moon, and Rising. Because again, when you have your birthday time so if you are still like a Moon and a Rising, you're still feeling your birthday power going through you as well. It's like you get like 3 rounds, whereas the Sun is like really elevating you. It's also your birthday time, but the Moon and Rising also creates who you are as well. With the Ace of Swords, there's a lesson that you need to learn. I feel like Aries, I love my Aries. I really do. And sometimes you're a bit stubborn with learning a lesson. So sometimes you gotta learn it again and again and again and again. And then the 17,000th time, you're like, I get it. But this is what I love about Aries too, is that they're committed to their own growth and their development. So they know that, yeah, it's gonna take me a couple times to do it, but you know what? I'm gonna solve it and I'm gonna be better off for it. So with the Knight of Wands here, this is telling me that there's a bit of fire in you. Usually there is with Aries, but the Knight of Wands is saying that just because there's a fire, it doesn't mean you have to race towards it with a fire extinguisher. Let the fire happen. Let the emotions run. Let yourself be energized as a result. The Lover card is always, the Lover card could be loving others, but also taking care of yourself. So for those of you Aries, especially the Scorpios and the Aquariuses that might be cross-watching right now, I would argue that if this is birthday time, they might feel like they're struggling with their birthday. Maybe they're trying not to celebrate their birthday. Maybe they don't have a reason to. But look at that, 7 of Wands. Aries, you need to allow those walls to be put down. Like those walls are not serving you, and they're actually causing you more hardship than you think. Maybe you're putting a good face to what you're doing, but it's not serving because those people, especially looks like the Aquarius and the Scorpios, they know that you are not your authentic self right now. So just be mindful about that. Last two cards, we have the Magician reversed. I am so I always believe that I'm the magician, like me as the magician. If I'm missing something, so let me look at it again. The Wheel of Fortune is telling me that there is a bit of a change on the horizon. I think that's what the stability is. Oh, pause. I think the reason why I missed something is that I also am seeing a journey that's happening. Like I'm seeing travel on the horizon for those of you that are Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. And I feel like that journey means that you need to connect with that Scorpio or Aquarius because there are some things, and I didn't see this, but now I do. There's some money going out of pocket and it's going towards travel or things that involve travel. So like a car, a new bike. I'm thinking bicycle, but I know people who are watching are probably like, I'm getting a motorcycle. You probably might be. I don't know. But I feel like there's a definite motion. Even though the Chariot is not showing up here, I am now actually seeing very clearly because here is travel, here is spending money, here is friends and spending time with friends in travel. And then the Temperance, like I can totally see that could be another vibe that's coming for you, Aries. And you're like, yes, I might be going on travel. Well, it is your birthday time, so it could be that. Or it could be the fact that it's a holiday for you. Like your birthday can be representing as a holiday as well. So for those of you, again, like, subscribe, share this. But for those of you double Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising, cross watchers who have Aries in their life, allow them that time to just be their authentic self. Don't throw water on their fire. Allow them to be their authentic self. And I think that's why the Magician there. And then those of you for Aries, the Magician also represents reinventing yourself as well. And I feel like that could be you too. That maybe there's something else that you just want to grow, invest, and understand. That does it for me. Again, I'm doing a lot of private readings as well on my spare time. So if you are interested, shoot me a message and I'd be happy to do one there for you. I wish you all the best. Have yourself a great day and I will chat with you soon. Bye-bye.